Hey, top of the morning to you. I'm Michael, or as the grandkids call me, Roo. Thank you for joining me on Roodoodles Live. That's exactly right. But wait, something's not right here. Oh, there it is. My chair. My chair was sagging. It could be because of COVID, and I'm pumping in a lot more calories than I normally do. I got to get out and walk. Just because it's COVID doesn't mean I can't go out and walk some. Okay. Hey, I pray you're well where you are. Thank you for joining me today. I'm gonna say hello to a few of you, and then I'm going to get going. And believe it or not, let me go to the desk here. It's before I even say hello, let me just say this. It is day 87. Holy smokes. There it is right there. Keeping it up with my bee. I'm impressed. I don't know whether you are. I'm impressed with me that I've kept up with my bee. Made a little rhyme there. 87. There it is right there. Okay. Might start going up around the edge here. Got to get to 100. That's the goal. 100. There it is. I keep doodling on the back of this page. It'll be filled in eventually. 100. That's where I'm headed. Had 70 days to go. Wow, look at that. Blew through that. And here's where I did 30 days. Thought that was something. Then I got into numbering them back here. You know, just all these doodles. I'm just a doodler. I'm just a doodler. Oh, there's the painting that I did this morning for the time lapse. You know what it said? You probably couldn't read it. It said, of course it's an original. It's simply a tiny painting. Okay? The whole thing is, I don't know. I'd measured if I had the brand new tape. This is brand new. Noah used this tape on the ark. There it is. It's 6 by 6, but the painting itself is just a little bigger than one of my business cards. Actually, the actual painting itself, no, that's it. That's the size of one of my business cards, 3 by 3. I paint my original business cards. Some of you, have you started doing that yet? If you haven't, you should. There's one right there. I'll paint one today just to give you an idea. It'd be fun if you did your own business cards. Okay, let me say hello to a few of you this morning. So thank you for jumping on. Goodness gracious, some of you are already on, and I hope you got your coffee, your tea, and you're ready to paint. Got just stuff all over the art desk this morning. I know it's hard for you to believe, right? Good morning, Crystal. Thank you for being here. Is it Padma? Thoda. Padma, thank you for joining us. Man, that's quite a picture. You look like you have some beautiful flowers around you there. Ruth Ann Godey, thank you for being here. Carol Todd, Monday. Day's Tuesday. Belinda, thank you for being a part of it. Skeeter Powell, I'm glad you're here too, my friend. Good morning, Terry Tardy. You've made it for all 87 days so far. Amazing. From the coast, from the Oregon coast. Hey, new music. Yeah, Alex, I just went into my production music and pulled out something that went with that little time-lapse thing I thought there. So thank you, man. I know you got the ear. Appreciate you listening to that. Still doing a fight over a piece of music with YouTube. But I'm going to win because I bought the piece of music. You know, I don't use artist music without permission, nor do I use anything that I don't purchase. And because it's, you know, when you're a musician, you don't want people to take your stuff. Or when you're an artist, you go like, hey, wait, I painted that. All right, that's mine. And so it's not it's mine, it's third grade, because you share so much anyway. But they sent me a note that said, you can't use this piece of music because it belongs to somebody else. And I go, I bought it from that guy before he sold it to you. So I'll keep dealing with them. It's kind of fun. Bobby King, thank you for being here. Cheryl Ann, with 4 names, Cheryl Ann Choate Wallace. Is it Choate? Choate? I'll blow your names all up so it doesn't matter. Kim Sheets, I'm glad you're watching. Thought of you this morning, Kim. I came in, and yes, I haven't even unwrapped it yet. There it is. Oh, wait, you can't see, can you? Can't see. There it is right there. There it is. There's the orange clove midnight soaps. Oh, man, it smells good. I'm just leaving it right here on my art bar because I like it that much. Sorry that there's I cut that off on my computer, but I just saw somebody must have ordered something on Etsy. All right. Chip Fur says it's going to be a great day. KN Sparks, Ohio, says thank you for sharing. Ohio, I love it when the whole state shows up to say thank you. That just makes my heart sing. But KN, I know what it means. KN is that Catherine Ann, Kelly Ann, just KN. KN. Brittany, thank you. Chip Fur, it is going to be a great day, brother. Hopefully not while driving. That's right. That was for Trish Brown. Thank you. Alice Jordan. Hello to you. I hope it's a pleasant day over in Knox Vegas. I know you live there, close by there. Julie, thank you for jumping aboard. Chiona, thank you. Chiona. Linda, thank you. Burke, good to have you this morning, man. Thanks for enjoying the shows. Diana Pratt Bradley. I love that all your names are out there. It's like my mother didn't call me but my middle name, and all three names was when I was in trouble. Christine, thank you for being here this morning. Good morning to you. Lisa Haymaker, Pinajo Tompkins, thank you. Jessica, welcome. Live from Minnesota. Hi from Minnesota. I'm live. You're live too, though. Ha. Kim, thank you for being on. It's Kim Munez, I think. Chris Cruz. Now, there's a great name. Chris Cruz. I like it. Why couldn't I have been named something like Cruz? Oh, wait. It's spelled differently. I get it. June Mills, welcome. Thank you for being here. Judy Wyman, hello. P. Wade, welcome back. I hope you got those watercolors. In fact, I think you sent me a note. You did get those watercolors. You didn't pick up the Winsor Newtons, which would have been a good choice. Great colors, easy little carry box. When they go on sale somewhere, pick them up for about half price. Don't pay the full rate on watercolor supplies, especially right now. And that's taken from an artist who says, hey, art. I have some very expensive art in town, and people find it, and then I have some art that you can buy here. Wade, jump on. Patricia, thank you. Kimberly, Julie, I said hi to you. Teresa, Emmerich, Jamie Campbell, Luann. Wow, you guys are piling on. Virginia, I'm going to stop right there and paint some today because I promised I would paint like 4 or 5 paintings today. I promised myself. I didn't promise you guys. But I have to tell you this first, what happened. I'm driving through my neighborhood the last couple of weeks. Actually, more than that. It's been a month or so. And there's a river birch about a quarter mile from here, and there's this big limb that's been hanging off. It's almost touching the ground. And, river birch sort of prune themselves. The limbs get tired, and the sap goes out, and they just fall off in the wind. But when those limbs still have sap in them, they just hang there, and they're very springy, and that's what I like to whittle out of. So I kept thinking, I'm just going to wear dark clothing, and one night go up in their yard and just swing on that thing till it falls. Not really, I'm kidding. But I thought about it. Yesterday, after I came back from the post office with a boatload of paintings that I've shipped out, thank you so much, the limb was laying at the curb all cut up. Well, today's our refuge day on the street, so I spin around, grab my shears, and come back, and got my, there they are right there, and my Coronas. Ooh, that's a bad name for a shear this time of year. And so I just grabbed them. Look at that, huh? So I've got myself 10 little twigs to whittle on. That one right there is just going to be a fabulous rooster. Look how he's leaning like this. So that's what I'm going to carve one of my little whittle roos out of. So, and nothing fancy. Just take a pocket knife and go into it and sip a cup of tea in the afternoons with the queen and carve some. So I'm gonna whittle some today. And I shouldn't use the word carve because, that's not right? Okay, that's not even going to happen. All right, so what I'm going to do is I got a lot of painting to do today, so let me put up my shears because I've got hobbies stacked on hobbies here. Let me throw those over there. Working with my American Journey paints today. Got a couple Van Gogh paintings in here, or Van Gogh, depends on who are you from in France. Van Gogh, G-O-G-H. I'm going to spray them with a little bit of moisture here, just water. That's all I do. Wet the paint down a little bit, like so. Try to keep the rest of the place dry if I can. It just loosens them up a little bit, makes it a little easier for me to get this bamboo brush down in there. So that's kind of how this comes together for me. All right, so Kimberly, if your babies are still sleeping, turn the volume down, and I'll try to play quieter music. And I was going to put on some music this morning, but I don't know what I did with it. Hold on one second here. I'll just put on some music, and we'll make this thing happen here. I'm feeling like painting. I disappeared for a second. Okay. All right. I got so many pieces of electronics here. I can't use Spotify during this. I don't want to use that, so I want to use music that I either own or is way in the background. And I felt like I needed a little banjo today because I wasn't done painting a fiddler the other day, so I'm going to do another fiddle player today. All right. But to warm up, I'm going to pick up my book, and here it is. Weird and Wonderful Words. I'm back in the book today. There it is right there. I'll lay the book down. And the word I had talked about the other day, and Carol asked me about it. Carol with the broken wrist, Carol. So Carol has said, oh my gosh, I want to know about that word. And so, and I'm sending her a painting anyway. I'm actually finishing your second painting, but I'm sending you the painting that I did free the other morning. I drew your name officially and unofficially. I drew 3 names, and then I just chose your name because since you've broken your wrist and you can't paint, that's can't paint, not can't. But I grew up in East Tennessee, so give the boys some break here. All right, let's see. Let's use some sort of pen that's got a little bit of heavy weight to it. Let's use the Speedball. I'm thinking that the word is Philgarlic, Philgarlic. I just find this book, for those of you who are just joining me and you're new, I've got this book. It's got just words that you wouldn't use anymore, just words that you might find in here. And what I do is, to help my creativity, I just look at a word like warble. Warble is an obsolete Scottish word. I love the fact that they're always Greek or Scottish, right? Well, it could be a Latin word, but most of the times it's Scottish, meaning to wiggle or wallow. So I wanted to see a hen that was wallowing or dusting herself. And by the way, we took off to France. I think my journal's downstairs, but I took off to France to paint some last year. And one of the things that I did was we were walking through Monet's garden in Giverny. I'm thinking, man, it'd be great. Look at these flowers out here. And look how he's laid his garden out. And there it was. There were 2 chickens in the garden. And I actually painted it. One of them is just people are trying to walk by. And, everybody's got their cameras up and their phones up. And this chicken is just going like creating a dust storm. I thought, that's fantastic. So I shot a picture of that. Made me laugh. So there's the waller. Okay. So let me go back and find the word I was looking at. It was something Philgarlic. Oh, there it is. Philgarlic. And here's what it means. A bald person or a person who has held in humorous contempt or treated with mock pity. The word means peeled garlic. Okay? So a peeled garlic person. All right? One of the prophets was that Isaiah? No, it wasn't Isaiah. Was it who was that? That was Elijah. I think he was bald. Yeah, there we go. I should know my Bible a little better. All right, so here we go. Here's a little bit of a warm-up painting. I'm just going to paint a rooster, what it would look like peeled garlic. And so I think I know he's going to have a big old head like this. And then he's going to have a little body like this. There's something about painting to this old John Denver, or John Hart. John Denver's a big change in it. John Hartford music that reminds me of riverboats, and it's all about riverboats. I don't know why it is I like to paint to this. Maybe it's just the sound of the banjo ringing back there, and it makes me think that I can't get dressed up against you, You just can't dress up when you're playing a banjo. What is it Steve Martin used to say, that you just can't be unhappy when you play a banjo. Lost my job today, and you go, oh, that's okay. That used to crack me up just when I was even learning to play my banjo, which I'm still learning. I think playing a banjo is, yeah. There's all those jokes. Alex will throw in some in a little bit. I promise you they're coming to me. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just going to sort of paint this Roo with a little bit of, just to block out those people in this painting also. Here he is. A bald-headed rooster. So does that mean a rooster that's got goosebumps? See, I don't know. Look, I don't start out with a real serious plan on any of this. Well, this is just kind of what warms me up in the morning. So if you don't have something that you do that just kind of loosens you up and you will get your colors all moistened up, maybe I didn't put enough water on them this morning. I seem to be dragging a little water over here. Spray a little more water on that. Just taking my bottle and spraying it around a little bit. Those little bottles, by the way, are great if you're trying to mist something or if you're timid to splatter. You can just spray a little water and let it take off. Kind of like how that works. Here we go. So I'm going in on top of that with this. Trying to go for a little scalp pink here, like a little bald chicken. And maybe he does have a waddle. So, these are throwaway paintings, but what they are for me is just to kind of to tell you about getting loosened up a little bit. Now, probably what I do is come in with my Speedball. My head's in the way, and then I'm sorry. It'll take me a few minutes to get lined out this morning. I moved all my stuff downstairs because I had to do a little work down there. And then now today I'm back up in my office where it's 250 degrees. My air conditioning just went out up here. So it's going to be a hot time in the old town tonight. All right, Phil Garlic. There he is right there. Maybe a little bit of yellow in the beak, and I just took a number 4 watercolor pen or brush. Nice little, beautiful number 4 brush. American Journey, I think is the name on that. Yep. I like the handles. They're smooth. All right. All right. So that's what a Phil Garlic rooster would look like. Okay. Not a whole lot of feathers, just maybe some more dots, pimples. I could go in here when this dries a little bit. And just he looks like he's got goosebumps on his goosebumps. You see, you wondered how I was going to get that. Now take a look. It's the little hairs after all the storm has blown off all of the feathers. You just get the. And by the way, this is always fascinating, isn't it? You know what, the butcher is going to call this a dressed chicken. And I'm thinking that's an undressed chicken if I've ever seen one. There's no feathers on that. That's an undressed chicken. So if you ever want to go into the market and you want to have some fun, and the butcher says, "Would you like to have one of those dressed chickens?" I said, "No, I like my chicken with clothes on it. Could you just give me a dressed chicken?" And he goes, "Well, that's the dressed chicken." I said, "That chicken has nothing on it. I don't want an undressed chicken." And he said, "This is what we call a dressed chicken." I said, "Well, you got on clothes? Are you dressed or undressed?" So you just carry on with people because life is way too short to worry about half the stuff we worry with. So have a sense of humor. It helps. Go into the grocery store and I always set the milk down on the counter and the lady says, "Do you want your milk in a bag?" And I'll go, "I thought only cows could do that. Oh my gosh. Wow." And she goes, "My gosh, what's wrong with you?" And I'll go, "Well, if you could figure that out, I'd start paying you instead of my doctor." So, all right, there you go. There's a Phil Garlic chicken. Now you see it. So it came together, right? All right, you didn't think it was going to happen, but I got it. All right, so Cheryl, you just gave me a reason why your 4 names set you apart from your sister, who's Cheryl Ann Wallace, no joke, and your name is Cheryl Ann Choate Wallace. Oh my gosh, because Choate is wow. Yeah, Carol, there's an old thing about pocket knives. They say don't whittle toward yourself, but that's not true. You always have to whittle toward yourself in lots of things. You just make sure you're not in the way. Yeah, I'm not at the art bar today, Terry. I moved back up here because I just had too many moving parts down there where I normally paint, and it crowded me. So this is a 250-year-old pub table that I promised my wife I would try to keep the paint off of. So I'm back in my office today. Can't. Rhymes with paint, Neil Mallory says. You would know that. All right. Is it Elijah? Yes, it was Elijah. All right. Difference between a Porsche and a banjo, you can tune a Porsche. I knew there was a joke coming somewhere from Alex on the banjo setup, but that's right. All right, so I got a lot of paintings to do today. Let's jump on board. I'm curious, other than this hour, how much do you paint on a typical day? Neil Mallory says. Wow, sometimes, well, that's a good question. I've been so busy the last few months, actually. Because I have a media company, I'm always editing. And like today, I have probably 6 or 7 hours of editing. I have more than that, but I'll probably knock out 6 hours of it today for some projects I have to do for a client. And I shot those videos a long time ago, and I've been waiting on a couple things, and it's a little tricky. And then I'm doing a project for the company Shutterfly, and so I've turned in a script to them. They asked me to write the script, and so I'm supposed to get okayed on that today. And so that's not a non-disclosure. They're a great company, and I just have fun. I like their culture, and I'm doing this kind of on their culture. And they have one of my roosters. They know I paint roosters. There's a Shutterfly near me, 25 minutes away. So even though there's one in Minneapolis and Phoenix and who knows where else. Anyway, so Neil, sometimes I'll come up here late at night, grab another cup of tea. Like last night, I honestly did. I came up and I sketched another one of these paintings, which I have to finish today. This is the Routini. This is one of my favorite paintings, and I have things that I go back to. I paint them each a little differently. So this is the This is the rooster in the martini glass. I'll probably paint that. And then I hadn't done a big, bold red rooster in a long time. Someone said, I wish you'd paint me a big, bold red rooster. Now think about that in your mind. You just saw me paint a very demented little Phil Garlic rooster here who's a bald chicken. So someone said, would you paint me a big, bold red rooster? Well, there's going to be my big, bold red rooster, right? So see, this is a martini glass. I don't drink, but I know the difference, okay? This would be more of a, a slim glass is a white wine glass. White wine is good for banjo pickers. Just kidding. And bold red is supposed to have a bold in a bowl, okay? So a bold red, why wouldn't he be holding a bold red, like 1,000 Stories red or a Malbec or Malbec. Is it Malbec or Malbec? I don't know. One of them's a car. All right. So then I thought I'd paint. So I sketched a little bit last night. So Neil, that's a good question. If I can, I'll sneak off and sketch a little bit. One of the reasons, if you're going to be an artist, that you need to find a place in your house so you can leave your stuff, your accoutrements, your trappings lying around. Okay. You just need to make a good mess somewhere. Let me see if I can change this shot a little bit. It's bothering me, and I apologize for it. My head's just too big. There we go. Look at that. Got rid of the big head just like that. So sometimes I'll just, if I have things laying around and I come in, let's say I'm on the phone yesterday and I'm doing some consulting work with a client, and I just may be here doodling. And so one of these paintings might come out of one of those doodles. Okay. So just like this, I'm going to come in and I'm going to come in here and look, I'm not even paying attention. I'm going to pull some feathers around there like that to where everything's going. It doesn't have to be just like my pencil sketch. Remember that? Okay. We can change this any way we want. There's keys. I like this rooster playing this fiddle as he in a stand-up. He's kind of got that. Looks like he's heading across the dance floor to me. So there it is. This is the bow. Here's the F holes in here. I know just enough about instruments. Actually, I know a little bit more about instruments. And got a bridge here somewhere. It's a tail piece that comes in like this. Then he's got a little. There we go, right there. All right. So that's my start of the fiddle. I'm gonna draw a wattle over here. Look, see, I'm not even really tracing where I drew the first pencil sketch. You see what's happening? I'm just sort of letting them kind of go wherever. As a matter of fact, I might not do any more on the tail than that. Come in here, build up this leg a little bit, and then drop this foot down. I like this foot being here. Looks like he's stepping out there. Fiddle players, they're more expressive than banjo pickers. Banjo pickers just stand over there and they're like an electric washing machine, as John Hartford would say. But the old ones, it was like, those old washing machines like your mama had, with the ringers on them, man. Those things that would wind your hair in there and would wind your clothes up. All right, so I like this. He's got his foot twisted around a little bit. If I find an eraser, I'll actually erase some of these lines. If I don't find an eraser, I will just, there's one way over there. Excuse me for reaching. Okay, so I'll get rid of some of this sketch. So Neil, that's to answer your question. I'll sneak away and paint if I can, but not when I have projects to do that are deadlined. But if I find myself thinking, man, there's a painting that I can't get over, I'll come and I'll make a note somewhere and I'll try to jump on it. Shauna, thank you for finding me. Just found you. This awesome, sir. Awesome, sir. Shauna. Sandy, jump in. Wish you were. You was in Key West. Yeah, there are hens all over Key West. Glenda, glad to have you here. Dan, Pat Cummings, howdy, buddy. Nice to see you, man. I hope you got something smoking on the grill. And so Alex is ahead of me here. He's gone into Elijah's baldness is found in 2 Kings. Yeah, some kids made fun of him, I believe, and then I believe he called the bears out from the woods, and it didn't end too well. Man, that's one way to stop a street argument. Just bring out the bears. All right. So to answer your question, sometimes I'll just jump on a whole lot. So I'm going to get started this morning. I'm almost at the bottom of the hour, and I hadn't really painted much of anything. But I want to say hello to a few of you and appreciate you following me around. So here we go. I'm just going to brush in here and grab some water. I'm just painting with water. For those of you who fear watercolor, don't fear the water. Jump in the pool. Just literally paint with water first. Look at this. Just dropping a little bit of water in the painting. You really can't see what's happening much, except that if you've been watching me and you keep up with some of this, you know that the ink in the pen actually bleeds in the water. It actually turns loose of some of the pigment, starts to soften up a little bit. That's part of my style. That's my visual voice. If that's not yours, then use a Rapidograph pen or use an archival pen that doesn't bleed if you want. If you don't want a pen sketch, then don't. Just pencil it in and then erase it. A lot of watercolor I sell, a lot of watercolor I do, I don't even erase the pencil unless it's really heavy like this one where I'd sit here doodling and I just did. Usually that's when I don't know what I'm going to paint, and I'll just sort of start to sketch with a pencil a little bit. And then I looked over, saw my fiddle case over there, reminded me of my uncle. I took the fiddle from his house when I just got married, and I went over to the old smoke shed and I said, Uncle Edgar, I'm taking the fiddle. And he said, son, that's stealing. I said, no, it's not stealing because you're standing in your doorway. I'm standing in your yard. I got the fiddle in my hand. You see it. I got it out of there. It's been hanging there for 40 years. I'm taking it with me. And he said, that's stealing. I said, no, it's not. No, I'm not coming in like a thief. I'm telling you, you're letting it go to waste. I'm going to turn it back into life. And he finally said, okay, take it, but you're stealing it. So I took it. And I still have it to this day. It's a good old fiddle. And can I play it? No, I can't. But man, is it fun. Okay, it's fun to take out and make the frogs croak. All right, so what I do here is this pretty typical of every time you see me get a new rooster. And so someone asked me, they said, aren't you afraid of running out of roosters to paint? I'm going like, well, what kind of question is that? Are you afraid of running out of landscapes to paint? No, every painting is different. Every eye is different. Every instrument, every movement. No two are the same. Even when I go back and paint a painting like this, which is a routine, it looks like some of the others, but I promise you there's no way that two are alike. So I love doing originals like that. And these paintings, I call them small works. Marie, if a messy space is a sign of a genius, then you're looking at the new Einstein right here. Okay, so Glenda Small, thank you for loving my humor, but it's not humor, it's just how my brain fires up. So I'm not even thinking about being funny, so that's kind of sad, isn't it, that you think it's funny, and I'm thinking, no. Just going through life and being a little bit of a realist. I like this gray in here. I'm going to put some gray in this bird right here. Called him a bird. Remember, the color that I will mix is right here. Let me bring my palette over. Most of the time, if I need a color in the painting, I'll just go in here with a moist brush and I'll pick up a little of this and I'll use it from the painting. And that way, I really have consistency in my colors in the painting. Just kind of use your paper itself as the palette. But there are times where you're going to want just a little more beefiness, and so you'll have to go back to the well over here. In this case, I want my legs to be a little different, so I'll pick up a little bit of Gambo G yellow. That's here, and it's called Gambo G. It's just a real bright yellow. Gambo G is from a plant. You guys are telling me, people do research for you. All you have to do is throw something out there today, and somebody says, oh, yeah, that's what they used to dye the Tibetan monks' robes with, or it was Gambo G. And I'm going like, all right, okay, thank you. But actually, you research it and you find out that it is. So, all these names came from somewhere. They were all Scottish or Greek words, like my book, right? All right, so there's a little bit of that mixture that I might do for the legs. See, that's a little dirty, not as yellow. And so I'll keep a little bit of that over to the side, and then I'll just go roll my brush in that just very gingerly. Here, don't load my brush up like this. I load it up to the side like so. Just roll it in. This is a bamboo brush. It's a #1 bamboo. Light bamboo handle. Probably has goat hair in it. I think that's what this brush is made out of. I should do the research on it, but then what's the fun of that, right? Sometimes you worry about what everything is instead of just grabbing a tool and doing it. And so I really feel like sometimes what keeps people from painting is they go, oh, I don't have a pen like that. Oh, I don't have a brush like that. I'm going like, paint with what you got. God made this to be a good paintbrush, children start with it, and they're great artists. So, so come in there and just have at it. I like how his feet are all discombobulated, like he is into it. Scott Duncan, one of the finest fiddlers in Nashville. Man, I was listening to a song the other day by Alison Krauss and Jerry Douglas. You know, if I was going to play an instrument and really turn one loose, I would never think of playing the dobro because he's the best there is. I listen to that and I go, God, that guy is just remarkable. What a gift. All right, so there we go. Now I got to come in here and I got to do some work on my fiddle, my violin, as you call them. Okay, so a little bit of this brush. This would be a good time to trade brushes if you wanted to go to a smaller brush. If you wanted to go to something like a number 3 or 4 watercolor brush that would look about like this, and maybe you're going to paint a little more carefully, like go in here and do this around a little bit. I've just got to where when this brush is working for me, and I like the way it picks up the ink or the paint, then I just go. I might put a little bit of red in this violin, just a touch right here, shiny. We definitely know it's not a Antonio Stradivarius, depending on. Maybe a little bit of lamp black here, just to get the neck. Maybe that's a little dark, so I'm going to come in and erase. So watch this. I'm just going to touch it, pick it up like that, and I go back and grab a little bit of this Payne's gray and just drag it in like this. Okay, there's a little duller. While I got that paint out, I'll pick up the tailpiece here. Okay, haven't put a bridge on this violin yet, or this fiddle. So I'll come in and I'll do that in a second when it dries a little bit. I'm going to come back with a little bit of this color and do the headpiece up here. Got a little bit of a Tennessee land snail on it. That's a scroll. I call that a Tennessee land snail with all the woods carved around there like that. All right, I'd come in with one of my other pens, which this is an 05 Pentel. Put a little bit of a bridge in there like so, and maybe beef up these F holes right here just a little bit like this. Okay, so there we go. Maybe a little bit of graining in the fiddle here. It's an old fiddle. There it is right there. Come in a little bit and put some strings in there. There's 4 strings on a fiddle, and I need another pen. Is this a 7? There we go. There's a 7. I think you can see what I'm doing here. I'm hustling this morning. Got a few paintings to do. Not because I'm in a hurry. I just wanted to get some done. So I think I can tell stories and paint at the same time. So today we put it to the test just a little bit. So we'll see. I put some more pen in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little of this. There is a little bit of eraser dust there. Got to be careful. I'll smear it. All right, just cross-hatch that floor with a fine tip flare. Look, there's no paint in my brush. That is just the pigment of that brush cutting loose, okay? So you see how that one actually bleeds and runs. Remember, we did all that yesterday with some, I don't know what I did with them, but there's a key here somewhere. I keep a little key to how my brushes bleed. I keep this sometimes here, so I'll know that my 05, 07, my Speedball, I know my ultralight flare. And so depending on how much water I put in there, the pens tend to bleed, okay? Thank you, Chris. Love the looseness of your paintings. Me too. And I got to tell you, took me a while to get loose. That sounds weird, but that's not the tendency. If you start and you look at your painting and everything's just really blocked in and it's all really tight and everything's like in one place and you go, wow, and you're done and you're stressed out, you're probably painting too tight. So loosen up your grip on everything. Loosen it up on your pen. Loosen it up on your watch your grandson, watch your granddaughter paint. They're like, hey, but sometimes kids paint like this. And when it's done, it looks like this. So I want you to lighten up and just let a little bit of of just let the brush flow. Think about that's why I put on some bluegrass music sometimes, or something that's a little looser, even some classical music sometimes that has a good movement in it. I'll find myself just emulating the music, and automatically I won't even think about it. I'll just find myself going ya da 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 da. I know that sounds silly, but there's all sorts of ways to be loose. And don't try to fill up every little place in your painting. Let some of the paper pop through. That's where you get some great natural color that just comes to this thing. Okay? All right. This is a good fiddler right here. He's ready. Okay. Heading for a job interview. Okay, Amy, good luck. Jenny sent you a note yesterday. Maybe this is why he wants to run, because he's playing a fiddler. I sent you a note yesterday, and I think that I found the paper. I ordered it online yesterday. My linen, folks, I've been looking for a piece of linen paper, acrylic type paper, the style that I painted the first quilting rooster on, so I can replace Jenny's damaged painting and send it to her and close the loop on Jenny's story in Rockbridge, Ohio. Thank you to all of you, over 100 of you or more, who sent notes to the post office and sent notes to Jenny, just saying thank you for following through. I love stories like that. You made that story happen, so I'm grateful for the community. The Roo Crew did it. You can only see half of my paper? Yeah, I can only see half of it too. That's why I'm painting so rotten this morning. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I move it all around. Melinda, good morning from LA. Have you ever tried the Elegant pen writer, Chenelin? Yes, I have. In fact, I have one downstairs. There's not too many pens I haven't tried. In fact, it's kind of a bad thing that I have, where I'll just go out and go, oh, I need to buy that pen. I do have too many pens. The Elegant writer will bleed. I don't like it, though, because the tip can be fibrous. It's great for calligraphy. But if you turn it the wrong way, I'll get a wider line than I need. So that's why I stopped sketching with it. But I do enjoy it. I have used it, and I like it. But it's probably something that I won't paint with necessarily, just because of how the blade on one of them, it's like the tip is sort of a blade. It's kind of an interesting description. But all right. Brittany, the Quilted Roo would make a good storybook, but I got 2 books I'm trying to finish now. One is the Poems from the Ponds, the Rivers, and Odes from the Oceans, Rhymes from the Rivers. The other one is my Roodoodles book, which I cannot, Roobots, which is roosters and farm equipment. But today I wanted to do a patriotic painting also. So there's one. There's 2. That's the starting painting that I did, 3x3, small works. In fact, if you want to see some of my small works, there's some paintings like I've been repainting on this show even, because I'll do the same originals over and over. You can go to Ann Nielsen. I'm in one gallery. She talked me into being a part of a small works fine art gallery collection one night, and we did an opening there. And gosh, I think they've sold 20 or 30 of my paintings, and they frame them to the point where it's just like I'm going like, whoa! I was humbled and sort of embarrassed. I'm going like, who painted that? I go, wait. That's one of my paintings. And so, but they're small works. It's Ann Nielsen, Neilson, Ann Nielsen's Fine Art. If you Google that, Ann Nielsen Fine Art, you can see, and just look for artist, and it'll say Michael Hahn. That's who I am. They know me in the signature as Roodoodles, but my name had to go on there officially. All right, so here we go. Let's paint another painting here this morning, and I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something patriotic. I thought I sketched a patriotic painting. Oh, here it is right here. Silly boy. All right, I like this painting. So let's give it a shot. I sketched this, Neil. I sketched this last night. So here we go. I'm gonna start over here and move this way. So I'm gonna start with the because I did a pencil sketch, I don't have to necessarily start with the beak. I like this sort of windswept Roo here. You can see him. He's got some, this is sort of a take on my red, white, blue Roo that I do around the holiday. I thought this would be fun. Oh, look, I'm sketching over here and it's not even on my paper. That's what happens when you're trying to do too many things at once. All right, so. Now, some of you would think, oh my gosh, the stars are crooked. And you're going like, why didn't he go get a template and draw these little stars with a template? And I'm going, well, a star just has 5 points, the American stars, we know it. So why can't I just do these? And these are on the rooster's body, which is made out of feathers. So don't mess with me. I've got all kinds of excuses. of why I do what I do. Okay, so there we go. Um, and remember, I'm a storyteller who uses roosters to tell stories. I'm not a fine artist, even though some of my paintings have sneaked into a fine art gallery. So you can go look them up. All right. Now I'm actually sketching this with an '07 pen. Pretty bold, pretty heavy. Okay. So in fact, I'll probably throw that pen down and get an '05 here and do these little peeps here with a little thinner pen just to give them a differentiation. That's a big word for me, differentiation. I like these little peeps who are always sort of throwing their weight around. You know, if you got them, you know what I mean. They're like just nonsense, no nonsense. And this one here, of course, has a match. There it is right there. His fingers under that. And he's getting ready to strike this match maybe on the stone right here. And then this is a bucket. I like painting buckets because they're all around the farm. They're rusty. They're maybe a paint can here. Got a little bell going this way. And then these are just those old-timey bottle rockets. And so there we go. Here's that. When you first learn to sketch, guess what happens? You learn to sketch spheres or circles. You learn to sketch squares. You learn to sketch rectangles. You also learn to sketch cones. And then you realize the bottom of that cone might be shaped like this. So in this case, it's not really, it's a rectangle, but it's got a round bottom on it because it's, and then the top of this, there's your you learn to sketch triangles. Look at this. Everything that you sketched is right here. Okay? Everything that you learn when you're officially starting to sketch is right here. You're just adding a little more to it, putting a little life in it. I'm turning the circles on these, putting it down. This bottom drops in. These are the little rockets that nobody uses anymore, but are all cartoonish from the cartoon days. You remember seeing these rockets, you know? I even painted these in my book on the 4th of July wheelbarrow. As a matter of fact, my book has I don't even think I have a copy of my book up here, but it has a painting where the wheelbarrow is dressed up like a parade float and has rockets, and they're getting ready to launch the rockets. And so all the rockets are like this because these remind me of the rockets that I grew up with watching on cartoons. You know, this is Wile E. Coyote rocket here. That's what they are. They're those red rockets. Okay, this is a 4th of July painting that I kind of like. And I'm going to get rid of some of my pencil sketch, maybe some of it. If you bought this painting and you hung it up on the wall, somebody walked over and they said, "Oh my gosh, I can see the artist's pencil sketches." And you go, "Well, yeah, because he sketched it. But he didn't erase it." And you go, if you've seen his desk, he couldn't find the eraser. Now I know why my wife wanted me to come back up here. Not really. But the art bar had enough eraser dust already. The art bar has 100 stems. Scott has the Birmingham Zoo looking at our farm. They want his chickens in their zoo. That's a great thing, Amy. I love it so much. Okay. All right. And let's see, I'm just looking to see if I had to answer any other questions here while I get on this. If I do, sometimes I come back and answer your questions a little bit later. But here's what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to finish this drawing here. See if we can finish this one for the top of the hour, because because you got work to do. Oh no, I do. I've been talking to myself. Okay. All right. Why am I starting on this painting and going that way? Because my hand's over here. I'm right-handed. All right. Now, this is a flag roost, so let's go with a little red here. Remember, I'm not coloring with crayons, so I don't have to make this perfect. I'm just doing theater here with my art today, okay? I'm just making it look like it's a flag, and you already see it. You say, "Oh my gosh, I see it happening already. It's working. It's coming down. He's dressed like the flag," okay? So you see it right there, okay? I'm going to put another little stripe right in there, so that's why I wanted one more right there. Okay, like so. All right. So, I used to do a lot of camp consulting work back when COVID would let kids go to camp. And one of the things I did was design a couple fireworks displays for some camps. I had my pyro license for several years where I could go in and shoot the big aerials, the big ones, and not as well. No, I shot some pretty big shells, and so it was kind of fun. And you'd go in and you would kind of get. One time I had this old flag. I mean, the thing was just from the 30s. It was all dingy and fringed and frayed, and so we put it in a boat and we put a spotlight on it, and the boat's trolling across the lake, and then we fired the opening shell out across the water over the thing, and it lights up. And I'm telling you, getting all that designed was kind of how I thought about this painting when I started doing this painting. And so I think this little peep is the producer of the show. He's running the piece. I want a part of a star coming down right there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right there, coming around the backside. All right, so he's telling this Roo what he's supposed to do, okay? So that's going to be the gist of this thing right here. So every fireworks show, and be careful with them, okay? Be careful with your fireworks. Holy smokes. I got out of there with all my fingers, all my toes, and my eyesight. So don't play with those things unattended. I have a friend who lost his hand just 2 years ago. Lost his hand. So please be careful. 4th of July is coming up. In fact, we can't even fire them where I live in North Carolina. We can fire little things that you lay in the driveway and they go. That's it. Okay. So, all right. So these two peeps are running the show. This one's got his little finger out. You see him? He's telling the Roo what he's supposed to do. And that's the theater in my storytelling, because you've all lived this. You've all done these little productions where somebody steps in and says, okay, here's your job. This is what you have to do. And you're going like, yeah, but wait, what? You've dressed me up like this. What am I supposed to do? So that's kind of where this is going. These sticks have a little bit of brown in them like this. I have this already in my brush. I'm just going to use it. There's one going down there. There's one there. I think these buckets are farm green. Okay. Man, time flies when you're doing this. I mean, it's just cranking through here. I think I said that was a rock right there just for striking the match on. See, I want a little detail. I like a little of this flare pen in here because it's going to give me some shadow in a minute. Like that. Let me go and paint these rockets. Now, I could just grab this brush just to show you. This is a number 4 American Journey brush. I'm just going to, and watch this. I'm going to show you something about this. If I just made this one big red streak, it would have no dimension. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little bit of water right here. I'm going to go in and just get a little bit of my red. I'm going to swipe it on one side. Take it right here on one side, because the light's coming the same way. One side. Same with the top. Okay, see how fast this was? Now watch. I'm just going to take kind of a clean brush, but a little damp, and then I'm just going to pull that paint over and let it fill in the rest. See that? See how those have a little bit of shadowing in them? And then I might just go over here and get myself a little bit of Payne's Gray and bring in even a little black around the edge, just right in there like this, so they don't look so crayoned colored, and they just got a little bit of life and shadow to them. Okay, so that's kind of how you make things. And look, I'm not going to even fill in that other edge. I'm just going to leave it loose like that. And then probably what I do here is just grab my pen and do the fuses like this. Okay, so all the fuses are down there. I want these buckets to have a little bit of rust in them, so I'm just going to get a little bit of rust color and just drop it in like this. Okay, and then maybe they got some sand in them here. Come in here and pick up some of this shading. I got to come in here and do this red on the match because you wouldn't expect it any otherwise. That's the fun detail. Go pull some of that leg color I pulled for, come in here and do the legs like in this color. I'm going to make this painting finished here, no problem. All right. I already know what the caption is going to be. Got it. All right. So, all right. So I put a little yellow down there, and then I pulled a little of that green in. Gives me a little bit of a grassy yellow look. Remember, if you look outside, all trees are not just absolutely green. Okay. Don't just get green and think I'm going to make trees. No. Trees have white. They have yellow. They have bits of red in them and brown. I like this little. I like this little blue right here on the tip. All right, so there you go. So there he is in his costume, uh, and then we got the caption to go. Okay, yeah, I am fast brained, Patricia. Don't forget it. Wade, have a great day, man. Uncle Sam Roo, Kurt, that would be close to one. Um, Gives me the chill bumps. I'm not sure what does, but oh yeah, the flag it should. Okay, hung my flag out on the back porch the other day, and building a patriotic thing for a patriotic game, an old game rehashed this Thursday with Works Tools. I'm doing my Works Live with Works show this Thursday, 11 o'clock Eastern, and I'm going to build a giant tic-tac-toe. And for the implements that you put in the squares, it's blue background, blue background, red cross members, and then I'm going to do stars and circles, and they're all white, but it's giant size. So you build that with Works Tools during my show for families to put something together. Okay. What's he doing over here in the corner? Who knows, right? Okay, just make a little bit of a mess, but I think there needs to be a little bit of some greenery over here, okay? Just let that pen fade. See how well that did? All right, come in here. A little more of shadow underneath, just a touch there. Here, all right. Let's get some sky while that dries. A little bit of a blue sky up here. I'm just painting with water, kind of clean. And then I'm going to touch a little blue in there and just let it take off. Now, that has some pretty heavy blue in it, so I'm going to add some more water. Let it come over here. Let some of it come down in the middle. People worry too much with their sky. Look, I'm not a fine artist, and I'm not trying to paint a photograph saying, oh my gosh, look at this painting. It looks just like a photograph. I'm like, see, I don't, and that may be the style that you absolutely love. I like art that has a dialogue, a monologue, a statement, and so I can take my camera out. In fact, I have a friend who sometimes is on the show who shoots these unbelievable photographs, and he just says, "Look at this photograph I captured," because I'm not going to be there to be able to see it, and so I appreciate Ron sending me a photograph every now and to see it. But when I buy original art, I I walk past the photo booth sometimes. That doesn't mean it's not an art form. I think your photos are fabulous. That's just not what I do with storytelling. You have to decide what your visual voice is. You have to decide what you're going to paint. You have to decide what is it on Thursday? Gracie, it's on Works, WORX, Tools. Thank you for asking that. It's this word right here. Look, WORX. One of my clients is Works Tools. And actually, they use me as a muse. I know you'll find that amusing. But I just do creative things for them, and they like the Roodoodles show, and they called and said, hey, why don't you do something for us? And so I go on for a 30-minute show on live Facebook, Works Facebook page, and build something creative with some of their tools. And I have a lot of their tools. I actually shoot some YouTube commercials in the backyard with some of their tools. So it's kind of fun. You know, they wanted an old guy. I'm going like, got that right. And they wanted a grandfather. I'm going like, got that right. They wanted a husband who had some tool experience. I go, you got that right. And so I sort of came in. Mark, thank you very much, man. Thank you for jumping on board. Skeeter, you watch it at Works, WORX. You can go on their Facebook page, Works Tools. Works Tools. That's where you can watch that. That's Thursday at 11 o'clock. So I'm going to try to do what we call the Martha Stewart version, where I have one in the oven made. So I'm going to build one quickly or show you how to put it together, and then I'll pull out, look, I'll have one in the oven. It's been there all night. So you can see it done. So I've got some homework to do on that. So that hampers my my style. Okay, hey, here we go. All right, I've got a caption for this, and I know what it's going to be. As soon as you hear Home of the Brave, dot, dot, dot. And then I'm going to put in the rest of the instructions. I'm going to wait till this dries so I can write it on there. But trust me, I think what I want this is this little peep here is telling this Roo right here. I think this is one of my original paintings from many years ago on 4th of July. Um, and I don't remember exactly what it said. So, but I think what I'm going to say is he's telling him, as soon as you hear the home of the brave, and the home of the brave, I want you to leap off the barn, spread your wings. It's going to be like the flag flying, and try to clear the house or something like that. So that's going to be my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Okay. Okay. So there we go. Can he do it? 5 minutes. Hey, by the way, Terry Tardy, you asked me the other day about this paper, and it comes out of this. It's Kilimanjaro, very 100% pure cotton paper. It's 10 inches by 5.5. And you said, why didn't I rip this piece of paper out before I painted it? And I said, because I'll mess up the painting. But I ripped out 2 of them by mistake, so I have them here on the desk. I didn't think I'd mess it up, but sometimes I paint on here, and I can't rip it out until the painting is dry, because if this gets moist, I might rip or wrinkle the paper. So that's why. So start with it out or start with it in and leave it in here till it dries if you're painting from this book. And by the way, this is the first paper that I ever painted on. I bought my watercolors, and then I bought this paper from Cheap Joe's Art Stuff, Kilimanjaro. It's 100% rag cotton. Wonderful, wonderful paper. It comes with these little thin sheets before. It's 140 pounds and literally pristine. Extra white really makes the colors pop. So you don't need to start on paper this expensive, but it's actually good paper if you want to do it. Okay, so let me see if I can paint this Roo real quickly here and wet my colors up really well there. And just jump in here. And I just knocked something off. I don't know what it was, but that's okay. All right, so let's just do a quick little painting of this Roo. Somebody said, have you ever painted a big, bold red rooster? And that made me think of when I go out to dinner with my wife. Somebody will say, do you like some wine? She says, bold red. Okay, so that's it. So it came to mind. Why don't I just paint a big, bold red rooster? Now, just because he's red doesn't mean that I'm not going to get there, okay? He's at Rhode Island red. He's got a little bit of, and there's a little bit right there inside that cup. I kind of like that. All right, there he is. I'll get him on the page in a minute so you can see. I have to look over at my monitor every now and then. I get so carried away doing this and get lost in my paintings that I don't really see where it is. I apologize for that. Rhode Island red roosters tend to be a little persnickety too. They'll come in after you sometimes. I'm telling you, they'll come and make your life kind of miserable. So, if you wanted a rooster that had a little bit of red in him, this would be the one here. Nobody eats at line bars anymore. All right, so there we go. I'm singing, so you're wondering what it was I got talking about. Streets. I splattered it forward. But I'm thinking that the wine is pretty bold red too, so I'm going to go in here and get some of that. Through the park. All right. So, hope you had a great day. And I hope you paint something today. I hope you sneak away at some point in time. I hope, too, if you're doing this and I know you're enjoying it, or I hope you are, because you're telling me you are, so thank you. Yeah, they can be cranky. Thank you for joining me today, and I love doing this, and this is day 87. We're going to see if we can get to 100 days, and that could be kind of fun. I don't know what I'm going to do. I had a friend call me and said, hey, I got an idea for you on the 100th day. And so we'll see what happens, but it could be kind of fun. I don't know what we're going to do yet. And first, I got to get a few projects that I got to finish. Let's see if I can just put a little bit of something under this roof here, just a little bit of gray-green background. I kind of like this brush. I haven't painted with one so long. I really do love it. So don't want to say that the only brush I paint with is a bamboo brush, because it's not. Bold red. Is there anything else? All right. There's bold red. I'll finish him up. And this guy here, I'm going to sign him right here. This is Fireworks 101. But I'm going to put the caption down here when it dries. I got this little painting this morning. That's a cute little painting I did right before I came online. Yep, I don't know sure where he's going yet. The fiddle player is going to come in, and I'm not sure what he's saying yet, but I'm going to caption this guy. He'll come in. And, of course, those of you who need a tiny for your wall, there's a tiny. So I'll post these this morning if anybody's interested. Thank you for hanging my humble art in your home. I've got another little 4th of July painting I might do here, and it was the peeps all standing here. And this guy's maybe leading them in the pledge or something. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I want to put a flag on that. Another 4th of July painting. I may do another 4th of July painting tomorrow, too. Be blessed. I'm going to be out of here shortly, and it's time to go now. So, thank you. Wow, Julie, I gave up watching the AM news. It made me sad. To you, that makes, oh, wow, thank you. You know what? The news is always the news, and if it's big enough to stop us, it's going to stop us and let us know. Otherwise, man, enjoy the people around you. Enjoy encouraging people. Listen, and be creative. Just be creative. Stop in the middle of the road and pick up a stick and go whittle it somewhere today. Pick up your paints and paint something today. Enjoy being creative. You were created. Be creative. So, blessings to you. I'm out of here. I have lost my harmonica in the move. And so thanks for liking my page. And hey, thank you for sharing my page too. I appreciate that so much. It's so helpful to let me know that you like the page and share the page. And if you get a little beep from me, it means I've gone back through and I've tried to answer your question or appreciated your comments. Some of you, I can't get to all of them, especially today because the wall behind me comes down and there's an editing computer sitting there and I got to get busy on some projects. But blessings to you all. And thank you, Melinda, for being here today. And Annalise, wow, love it. Thanks, Lee Packus. Appreciate you very much. Nina Bridges, thanks for jumping on. So thanks for saying hello. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing. I'm out of here.